it's not just passion
Yeah.
that drives us. It's also accountability.
Yes. To make business successful, we really need to get to a point where we focus on the thing that we are good at.
If the wind blows you somewhere, just land and just root and just bloom.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Buzzin Podcast, your app for business intelligence. So excited to have Alta Roos with me today. Alta, thanks for being here. Bring us in a little bit more about your story and just, did you choose the legal field or did the legal field choose you?
I think neither. But thank you for having me today. Lovely to be here. So, yeah, as you said, I'm Alta Roos, and I am an attorney here in George, director and founder of Roos Inc. Attorneys. We recently won Best of George. I just have to say it on air. Very proud of
Amazing.
that.
Well done.
Thank you very much. So no, it was never a dream of mine to be an attorney. I can't remember that I ever in school said that I would like to be an attorney. I remember wanting to be an army girl, wanting to be an actor, but never an attorney. So yeah, after school, I didn't even went studying. I went into corporate, got a job. I traded on Suffolk. I don't know if you know the Suffolk grain and crop trading platform. So we did
How did you
that.
get into that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I applied for a job and I got it.
Wow, amazing.
Back then, it wasn't that hard to get a job. You could just apply and you got it.
Yeah.
So in that working environment, they encouraged you to study further. And one of the things that we could study was BCom law, and I enrolled and did that for promotion reasons, actually.
Yeah.
And then I lost somebody very close to me. And after that personal loss, I went to Potchefstroom University and just went there and just finished what I started in terms of studying or studies. And that's how I actually became a lawyer.
So, what was that mental transition going from, working in corporate, going to study and then deciding to do your own thing? So in the legal field, you need to do articles. So did you do your articles and then directly after that said, I'm going to start my own practice? Or what was that transition phase to get to the point where you said, I'm going to start Alta Roos Incorporated?
Yeah, that was actually, we are talking now over a span of about 15 years before I officially opened Roos Inc. Attorneys. So, yeah, the journey was long and we don't have enough time to speak about that. But, yeah, to fast forward, I finished my studies and I was privileged enough to get articleship at a very big and nice company in Klerksdorp. And there I finished my articles, and shortly after my articles was completed, the partners broke up. And I just went with my my principal at that stage, and he opened a new firm. And I think I kind of saw how to do it. And then years later, we did separate at one stage, and I then became an associate at a firm in Pretoria. So I was working in Klerksdorp, and I was the associate of that firm, kind of doing my own thing, but all the whole administrative side of an attorney's firm they were doing. So I didn't really participated in that. And then the wind blew us here to George. And I'd never thought I could move everything from Klerksdorp here. I just didn't saw any viability for it here. And I don't know, then it just happens. I got an opportunity to start a trust and deceased estates practice. The name was Alta Roos Trust and Deceased Estates in 2019. And in 2021, the opportunity just arose to then I incorporated Roos Inc. And from there, I grew from a one-man band until we have 5 attorneys now. 20 employees. So we're very proud of that. Yeah. But yeah, it was all chance and luck and hard work.
Yeah, that's amazing. I remember the first time we sat in a meeting as well, and you explained the story from where you started as in a small office with somebody, and you ended up growing to the point where you are now. And I mean, just the last week, I saw you on the radio and I saw you on George Harold, and I'm like, wow, it's really impressive what you've built in the last couple of years. But coming with that, I mean, you need to have a passion, right? Because now you get to this point where you start your own practice. But for you to get to a point where you are driven to build something bigger, you need to have a vision. And the vision drives the passion then, or the passion drives the vision. So is this a passion? Is this something that you, when you wake up, is a thing that you think about? When you go to bed, you think about that?
Definitely. I don't know when it happened because, as I said, at one stage in my life, it wasn't a dream of mine to become a lawyer. Yeah. That just happened through life and through the wind blowing you somewhere. I always say to my daughter and her friends, you know, if the wind blows you somewhere, just land and just root and just bloom.
Yeah.
And I think that happened, but I never decided that deliberately. But yeah, nowadays, definitely since I've incorporated Ruas Inc. and with all the people in Ruas Inc.'s life supporting me and working with me, it's definitely a passion. On our website, there's also a phrase about passion led us here, and it's really the truth. But nowadays, with all the clients that we've obtained and the role that we are currently playing in people's lives in Georgia and actually in South Africa, being independent trustees and so on. It's not just passion that drives us. It's also accountability.
Yes, sure.
You know, we've been voted best of George. There should be some kind of accountability surrounding that.
100%, yeah. And I mean, you want to operate in excellency because that's when it comes to that point as well. So what do you think, where was a pivotal moment in moving from a one-man band to a practice of now employing almost 20 people or 20 people? What was the pivotal moment to change and to transition into a practice like that?
Again, and it really, I know it sounds bad, but I never made the choice.
Yeah.
It's people coming into my life, like my colleague that will speak later. It's just these passionate colleagues that joins me, and it just grows from a trust and assist estates firm, and all of a sudden somebody come to see me and she's a good conveyancing typist, and then we do conveyancing, and then another lawyer comes and he is passionate about commercial law, and all of a sudden I find myself having a commercial department with an awesome individual running that. So again,
but maybe you're trying to be humble in that, right? Because somewhere there needs to be a culture that's being created in a practice where people feel they want to get into that, because that's the only way that it can be sustainable, successful, and where there's fruit. I mean, because there's fruit in the practice. You can see that, the way that it's expanding. So somewhere there needs to be something that's forming that culture where people say, I want to go and work at Alta Ruas Inc.
All right, I'm not going to try to be humble now, but I do feel that humbleness is kind of my trademark.
Which is great.
So during my life as an attorney, climbing the corporate ladder, I, at some stage, remember this whole trust and assist estates thing happened in a very low time in my life when I actually went through a mourning period. Mourning. The pronunciation. Anyway, and I think at that stage, through hardship, it piqued my interest, and then it kind of helped me to heal. So I unpacked this whole thing, and I actually learned taught myself how to wound up a whole messy estate.
Yes.
And so then afterwards, after I've completed my studies and my articleship and everything, and you do encounter a few courses doing trust and assist estates in all the different exams.
Yeah.
And I felt I wanted more. I felt I wanted to be the best at this thing that I now chose to do as trust. And so I went and did my master's degree in trust and assist estates. And my main subject was trusts, and I love a trust. We will come to that later. So when I came to George and luck happened or fate happened, I also, from the get-go, branded myself as saying, but I'm a trust and deceased estates specialist.
Yes.
Because it's not a lie, I am.
Yes.
I studied to be that. And I think throughout this whole journey of Roos Inc. growing to where we are, I tried every time to appoint the master. It doesn't necessarily have to be the person with the most years of experience, but it must be somebody that have a passion for this particular subject. The rest of the things we will study and we will learn together. So I think pivotal moment, there's not a date and a time. It's just with every person coming into Roos Inc.'s life, having the appointment being the best one. I think that is in each 5 appointments. I think that, and also employees.
Yes.
I mean, I do need to give my accounting department the praise that they really deserve, and that is, I really think, if we didn't have them, again, that discipline wouldn't be there.
Yes, and that's so important. Our staff and the people that comes under us and after us is so important to shape a practice and the sustainability of it. And I love what you're saying about the things that you focused on, like you are a trust and deceased attorney and a specialist in that, because to make business successful, we really need to get to a point where we focus on the thing that we are good at. And I think what happens with a lot of small businesses, and we will touch on that later with legal work as well, but it's people they want to touch everywhere, because in the beginning you're like, how do you make this successful? And you get paranoid because you need to put bread and butter on the table. So they touch this, they touch that, and they just want to do everything. And I think when we get back to the point where people just focus on what they are good at in the beginning to build that foundation, it really creates a lot more sustainability. So getting to that and what you are busy building, what would you say is the meaning of success for you in life?
Yeah, that's a difficult question, and it's a question that I find myself asking myself a lot of times, because is success too much money in your bank account? Is it things? Is it a nice car? And I think throughout the 20-odd years of practice, chasing dreams and climbing the corporate ladder, for me, and I think success is a personal, the answer in success will differ for each and every person that you speak to. For me, success is a feeling. It's when I wake up and I feel I've done enough. If clients walk out of my office and the feeling is, listen, I did well with these people. They are content. They are happy. I think success is when you have a review, a good review on, receiving an email saying thank you. This was the best service that we've received in a long time. For me, that is success.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and that's amazing. And I think leaving a feeling behind, right, is actually so profound. It's being able, people need to look back at Alta Roos and say, it's a person that I want to go and work with again. It's somebody that changed my life. It's somebody that made an impact in the life of my family. And I think that, it's so amazing. And what you're saying, success does differ to each and every one of us. But what you are doing is really amazing. And we're looking forward to our next podcast that we're going to have, where we're going to touch on your speciality of trust and deceased estate. So I think people need to take out their notepad to start making notes on that. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this first episode with Alta Roos. Looking forward to our next one. Thanks, Alta.
Thank you for having me.